Hello, welcome to the Stay In and Speak Out event. We're going to kick this off with some fun with a song from Mr. G. Mr. G, who performs in DC annually for our members. However, this year we'll be hosting a virtual concert with Mr. G on September 12th. Stay tuned for more details.
Uno, dos, tres. Cocodrilo, cocodrilo, no me creo tu sonrisa. Cocodrilo, cocodrilo, ahora no tengo prisa. Oh, just the other day, I was walking by the river and I saw something strange. It gave me the shivers, sharp, shiny teeth and two beady eyes. She said, come a little closer, you get a big surprise. Cocodrilo, cocodrilo, I don't believe your smile. Cocodrilo, cocodrilo, you're a mean old crocodile. Cocodrilo, cocodrilo, no me creo tu sonrisa. Cocodrilo, cocodrilo, ahora no tengo prisa. Ten cuidado por el río, ten cuidado por favor. That mean old crocodile, she's knocking at your door. Be careful by the river, be careful pretty please. She's a hungry crocodile, and she doesn't want grilled cheese. Cocodrilo, cocodrilo, I don't believe your smile. Cocodrilo, cocodrilo, you're a mean old crocodile. Cocodrilo, cocodrilo, no me creo tu sonrisa. Cocodrilo, cocodrilo, ahora no tengo prisa. Uno, dos, tres. Ten cuidado.
Mucho cuidado. Cocodrilo en la sombra.
Aunque es un poco perezoso, es muy peligroso. Este cocodrilo no es nada cariñoso. Siempre tiene hambre, tan solo quiere carne. Este cocodrilo no es muy amable. Oh, cocodrilo, cocodrilo, I don't believe your smile. Cocodrilo, cocodrilo, you're a mean old crocodile. Cocodrilo, cocodrilo, no me creo tu sonrisa. Cocodrilo, cocodrilo, ahora no tengo prisa. Cocodrilo, cocodrilo, I don't believe your smile. Cocodrilo, cocodrilo, you're a mean crocodile.
Hi, and welcome back. I'd love to introduce our guest of honor today. She is Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib. She is a well-known environmental warrior, in her own words, a mother working for justice for all. Her two young sons are the root of her unwavering passion to help change lives for the better. She is the oldest of 14 children, born and raised in Detroit, the proud daughter of Palestinian immigrant parents. She's beloved by Moms Clean Air Force and her constituents in Michigan for successfully fighting for environmental issues, both on a local and national level. Thank you, Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib, for joining us today.
No, thank you so much to all of you and for your incredible partnership. You bring so much credibility to this movement for the right to breathe clean air, to push Green New Deal and these bold, meaningful actions that I think our country really needs right now. And so I really appreciate it. I always say, sometimes I wish I'm in these rooms with colleagues and I want to clear out the room and put moms in there, because when we get in there, we don't have political party affiliation. We're just moms first. And so all of you mean so much to this movement and to so many of us who've been really from frontline communities like mine, who have been crying and moving with a sense of urgency that we really deserve to breathe clean air. We don't deserve our public health to be put before profits. And so I really sincerely appreciate all of you and look forward to this dialogue and forward to continuing our partnership and getting real change done for so many of our families and communities across the country.
That's great. And I just want to say that we're excited to have you today. And our first question comes from Mina. She's 5 and she's from Detroit. Let's see her question.
Thank you, Miss Rashida, for all you do. My name is Mina Marca, and I live in Detroit. I'm worried animals are going extinct because of climate change. What are you guys doing about it?
You know, what we're going to do is, we have bold ideas, and many of them are from women and girls like us who are saying we need a transformative change like the Green New Deal. I also have been super supportive of colleagues like Congresswoman Debbie Dingell and others that have really pushed on protecting our wildlife. But absolutely, and I want you to know too, as you know, in my office, we always say that we are advocates also for the voiceless, and that includes our wonderful animals and others that may not be able to kind of come in and meet with me in the office or communicate to me, but we are there advocating on their behalf as well. Thank you so much for your question, Mina.
Our next question is from Emma, who is Mina's sister, and she's 3.
My name is Emma. What's the most promising climate solution?
You want to translate, Mina?
Emma is basically saying, what's the most promising climate solution?
So Emma, you should know, I think the most promising thing, I believe, it's not necessarily the actual legislation. It's the fact that people are saying, please put my public health before profits. Please push against corporate greed and say, to the world and everything that we do is enough. We have sick care in our country, not health care, right? And all of that is so tied with all the air we breathe, the food we eat, the water we drink. And so many people like you, Emma, are saying, please put my public health and my livelihood first before profits. And that means saying no to new investments in fossil fuel energy, saying no to more pollution in communities like ours. And thank you so much for you and your sister. I love that your sister translated for you. That was really important. Thank you so much for your question, Emma.
So our next question comes from Glenn. Glenn Shivers is a daycare provider in Detroit, and she has a question for you.
Okay, my question to Congress. First, I'm Gwen Shivers with Gwen's Heaven's Angels Daycare, located in Brightmoor. My question to Congress is, how can we give better quality air for our future generation? I give an example as when I go south every year, I'm able to see the sky so beautiful that the sky is full of stars. And then when I return home, I look at the sky and I can barely find 10 stars. So what quality or air are we going to have where the future generation will be able to look up and see the beauty of the earth, of the sky, when they look up and see what's going on in the sky? Right now we have so much smog that we can't even see beyond the clouds. What is it can we do to prevent this from happening?
No, that's a really important question, Ms. Gwen. And one of the things to know is what we can do is believe the science, believe the public health experts. So many people are, I'm in committee a lot, and I hear my colleagues talk about jobs and development, but they're not actually listening to the science and understanding public health and science. And what they're saying is, though, you're killing us, and jobs can't heal cancer. Development is not always good if it means more people that are sick and not able to live. For you were able to see the sky in the South and everything. I grew up in Southwest Detroit, and I can tell you the first time really, honestly, that I saw this kind of settling and finally seeing some difference was unfortunately during the pandemic when everything shut down. Even the first couple of weeks, there was a huge difference in the air, even in the odor. And so we know that that's what needs to happen. And we just need to understand the science and those folks that are out there, the experts out there are telling us this is the direction we need to go, and is completely the opposite of pollution and fossil fuels and these kinds of emissions that are hurting us right now. So what we can do is ask our members of Congress, believe in the science, talk to the experts, talk to the public health officials. Those are the people that we need to follow right now.
So our next question comes from Oscar. He is 9 years old, and he's my son.
Hi, Congresswoman. It's me, Oscar Potman from Michigan. And on hot days, because I have asthma, on hot days, it can be hard for me to breathe. What are you doing in the Congress to help me and other people with asthma breathe better?
That's so sweet. Oscar, I'm so sorry you have asthma, and you deserve to breathe clean air. You deserve to be able to play outside anytime you want. And I can tell you the way we are going to change this is sharing stories like yours. Because, you know, sometimes we don't actually see the pollution. We don't see the harms of it, even though scientists and folks are showing us maps or showing us how we're actually hurting our air and our water and our environment. But sharing your story actually puts a human face to why we need to move with a sense of urgency. So I'm going to continue to share your story, Oscar, and so many others in my community that continue to tell me, you know, I have cancer and I live in the shadows of Marathon. I have to do a respiratory process of breathing machine before I go to bed, and I live in the shadows of a steel company. That's how we can able to change the hearts and minds of my colleagues in Congress, is to share your stories and helping people understand. It has to go beyond these kinds of, you know, arguments that continue to happen around this is what we need to do to create jobs. This is what we need to do to create development, where we already know we can have the Green New Deal and still be able to have jobs, clean jobs, and to be able to have development in our communities, but in the direction that puts our health first.
Thank you. I'm a little biased too. I was going to say the next question comes from Nevaeh. She's 12 years old and also from Detroit, and here is her question.
Hello, I'm Nevaeh and I live in Detroit. What are the most important ways you think we should be dealing with air and water pollution in America?
So, Nevaeh, one of the things you should know is we have to make it a priority. We've waited too long. I mean, I think for so long, many of us across the country have known that we weren't taking care of our environment, our air, and our water. And it's communities like Flint and Detroit right now where we have so much lead in our water. It's communities like 48217 in my district that are still on the front lines of saying we have a right to breathe clean air, and they're literally feeling like their lives are at jeopardy the more they allow pollution to continue to seep into their air, into their homes. And so it is so important that what we can do right now is move with urgency and be bold. So pushing back against those that think the Green New Deal is impossible and it isn't time for it. It is time. It's past time for it. We've been told to wait and wait and wait. We've been given these different deadlines of 30 years from now. We don't have 30 years. Today is where we need clean air and clean water in an environment that protects all of us. And so that's what we can do to continue to, again, move with a sense of urgency and understanding the importance of these bold initiatives.
Hi. Our next question is coming from Maya. Maya is 7 years old, and here is her question.
Hi, Congresswoman. My name is Maya Gumanik from Ann Arbor, Michigan. I have a question for you. How are you going to get people to stop bringing plastic bags and bottles to the beaches? Because I have graphic novels, and there's some pictures that say choose this, not that, and there's like not that is like plastic bags and plastic bottles, but choose this is like Velcro bags, and instead of bringing like plastic cups for like granola, you would bring like those little jars, and instead of bringing a plastic water bottle, you would bring a thermos or something.
First of all, I think Maya needs to come and read one of those books to my colleagues and show the pictures. I think that was so great. I want you to know I sit on House Oversight Committee, which is a really important committee. It's kind of, so for all the kids might be listening, so Maya, it's kind of like the watchdog. It's kind of the folks that watch over decisions and over policy that is being done by not only the President of the United States, but by the different departments and things like that. So one of the things that I just did recently as the vice chair of, as a vice chair of the House Oversight Committee, Subcommittee on Environment, is we just sent a letter about the use of like plastics and especially to Nestle and some other people, and to really push back and say, what are you doing about that? We just had a hearing about it recently that I shared online, and it was really hard because the folks that were trying to promote plastics were saying, well, we're job creators, we need plastic. And we're saying, but the doctors and others at the same hearing were saying, yeah, but it's actually hurting the environment, it's hurting our lungs. So we have to keep telling the truth about what plastics are doing to us. Just like you did, you read about it, you understand it, and you're telling me the truth about why we need to get rid of plastics. And that's what we need to do through our hearing and through House Oversight, is to really push back against those that try not to tell the truth about some of these things that are really hurting us, especially plastics. But no, that was you did such a great job asking me the question.
Thanks again. Our next question is going to be coming from Katie. Katie has a question for you, Congresswoman.
Congresswoman, how can you make my air better for me to breathe?
Katie is really direct. I like it. She's like, what are you doing about my air? Well, I want you to know, a while ago we have a Right to Breathe campaign in my community, which has led me to support initiatives like the Green New Deal and to push back. But the way we're going to do it is we're going to have to really try to not fund the public, to fund fossil fuel investment, to move us away from encouraging or allowing the expansion of emissions and particulate matter and all those things that are hurting our environment. So the Green New Deal is one of them, and the vision that we're all supporting. But we also need to really look at how we're funding, what we're supporting through the federal government, and saying enough. You should see, I even have a bill that would allow a lot of our federal employees that don't want to invest their retirement in fossil fuel industry. They should have a right to not actually be, funding things that are hurting their lungs and air. And so those are the things that we're doing. We're finding ways to take away the funding, the public funding, our money, to poison the air. And we're also looking at ways of how do we transform, many of these forms of creating energy into clean energy. And so that's what we're doing, and we're going to keep fighting.
Hi, thanks again. Our last and final question, Congresswoman, comes from Teddy. He is 7 years old, and here's his question today.
Congresswoman, what can you do to help climate change?
Isn't that cute? I was just showing my son. Teddy, what we can do is we can say that climate crisis is real, that we need to do something about it today. And so not even just a Green New Deal, but actually acknowledging that we have a climate crisis and that we have to enforce policies and change that meet the crisis. So when we have people right now that are still saying that we don't have a problem, that is going to jeopardize our work.
Should I just thank the Congresswoman and go?
Oh, I'm sorry. I heard you. I'm sorry. I got it right. Do I keep going?
Oh, hi. I'm sorry. I'm having some audio issues on my end. I apologize. I'm having some audio issues on my end.
Answer Teddy's question.
Thank you, Congresswoman, for getting together with us today and joining us. It was really fun, and I hope you enjoyed this too. And I hope we can do this again. And once again, I apologize. I can't hear on my end. So I'm going to leave it to you to give us any last words you'd like to say before signing off, and thank you again.
Yeah. No, thank you so much. And I'm so sorry about all the technical difficulties, you all, but I hope we answered everyone's questions. Thank you for that. Thank you for all the moms and engaging their kids in this important issue. I got to tell you, they're the ones who are going to have to go out there and fight so hard for us to have clean air.
Well, that brings us to the end. I just wanted to say once again, thank you for everyone who joined us today. And we will be doing more of these in the future. So tune in, and especially in that concert with Mr. G on September 12th. Thank you very much and have a wonderful day.